ìṣòro bí ewé.
And there we are live. Roll up, everybody gather, come and join. One man went to mow. We commence again. That afternoon session, something that we do, not with the regularity of the evening session, but with increasing regularity now. So around about 1 o'clock, thereabout UK time in the afternoons, we sometimes converge to discuss our matters pertaining to Nigeria. So that is what is happening now. An open microphone session, as I often introduce. And the open microphone is the hyperlink in the comment section that says StreamYard. So if you click on that hyperlink in the comment section that says StreamYard, you will appear on the screen just as soon as I let you onto the screen to share your thoughts on the talking points that we're discussing for the day. So that is how the format works. It's an open microphone session. It's an interactive session, and that is what we do. So that is the format, and I try to moderate it as best I can. Often not with complete success, but I do as I can. So do as I can with your cooperation. The session commences and the eagle has landed.
Water, only water, only water, where they see my water. Only water, where they see my Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido.
Okay, oro keke elemu. We'll get the rest of that rendition from the KEBBI in a moment, but let me bring you the talking points first. Buhari is the most loved politician in Nigeria's history, more popular than Awolowo, Azikiwe, Aminu Kano, and others. FEMI Adesina again, they are almost unbelievable, but this is where we are now. This is the level that we have been debased to. This is us leaking to the nth degree. This is ranker dede as not known before. This is new territory in just servitude and kowtowing. Buhari, the most loved politician in Nigeria's history, more popular than Awolowo, Azikiwe, Aminu Kano, others. Adesina, of course, no one else would even go deem to go that far because they know that there's life after Buhari, after governance. Still talking, okay, let me actually give you this first. NNAMDI Kano's lawyer reacts to claims IPOB leader was given documents to sign as condition of his freedom. So a lot of freedom talk around the Kano narrative in recent times. So it looks as though now considerations are now being given to how just this guy can be released and he not constitute a nuisance. Over the last week or so, we've been hearing murmurings and talks of negotiations and discussions. And now this headline, NNAMDI Kano's lawyer reacts to claim IPOB leader was given documents to sign as condition officer freedom. True or false, we find out in due course. New revenue formula, no enough funds to run KEBBI state, says Governor Bagudu. So no enough funds to run KEBBI State, according to Governor Bagudu. But then, of course, KEBBI State, like every other state within Nigeria, has the legal rights to keep essentially 100% of their internally generated revenue. So, is anybody now forcing this guy to hand over his internally generated revenue? Is the question. The headline again: new revenue formula, no enough funds to run KEBBI State, says Governor Bagudu. So, quite why he's felt the need to say that, we find out in due course. Talking nonsense again and talking Femi Adesina. Femi Adesina says it is idiocy to claim that Buhari has been replaced with Jubril from Sudan. And of course, there's only one person that has pointed out, that has championed rather that narrative. So essentially, and even you don't have to stretch to know where he's pointing. So Femi Adesina essentially calls Nnamdi Kanu an idiot. Again, Femi Adesina says it is idiocy to claim that Buhari has been replaced with Jubril from Sudan. So Jubril at Sudani will revisit that echo from the past again. So to all of that, but first, the rest of that rendition by the Care Guides.
Oró kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sódìyà kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Bọ́bí màsítà kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Chifu Fáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ ẹlẹ́mù rẹ o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòdò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodama ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní rí wa gbéṣe o.
And there we are. Iku Koniriwagweshe, the Care Guides. Iku Koniriwagweshe, as guys, I bring you this. Buhari is the most loved politician in Nigeria's history. More popular than Awolowo, Azikiwe, Aminu Kano, and others. Femi Adesina, of course, no other person would have the brevity to make such an audacious statement. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, says Nigerians love President Muhammadu Buhari more than the late Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, and Aminu Kano. Adesina disclosed this in an article on Thursday titled "The Essential Buhari, VP Oshibanjo Got It." The presidential spokesman said he aligned with the thoughts of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo that Buhari is probably Nigeria's most popular politician. He said, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is an honest man. Whatever he tells you, please take it seriously. You can even take it to the bank. It is a check that will never bounce. Last weekend in London, whilst speaking with top officials of the Nigerian High Commission, Vice President Osinbajo said of President Muhammadu Buhari, the my Kaskia honest man. The president is possibly the most popular Nigerian politician that we have ever had in generations. He is possibly the only person who can go into a place or somewhere without bossing people together and they will come to listen to him. We need that level of credibility to be able to solve problems in our country. And I think because of his level of credibility, despite everything, he is still the only one that can call everyone, and even people who do not necessarily agree with him, know that he's a man of his words. I think we may well have come across this piece before. There may be a tendency to say, what else do you expect a number two man to say of his principal? He won't excoriate or I don't know what this guy is talking about. He won't excoriate or flagellate him in public. And because he may possibly need his support for the number one position at a point in time in the future, so he would say sugary things. For a typical politician, ambitious, cold, calculating, scheming, yes. But those of us who work with the duo know that Professor Yemi Oshibajo is not in that mold. He's an honest, factual, totally dependent on God for whatever the future may hold. Nothing is a matter of life and death. And so he could have chosen to keep quiet about the attributes of the president so that he would not be misconstrued. When he said Buhari was possibly Nigeria's most popular politician that we have had in generations, I believe it, not just by the hearing of the ears, but because my eyes have seen it. I am old enough to have seen our colorful and even swashbuckling politicians in action. I have seen the great Obafemi Awolowo, the charismatic Nandi Azikiwe Zik of Africa, Shehu Shagari, Aminu Kano, MKO Abiola, Bashir Tofa, and many others in action. But I have not seen anyone with the kind of attraction, magnetic pull that Muhammadu Buhari has, and that is round the country, north and south. People swarm around him as bees do to honey. I have been round the country with the president. I have also been to several countries of the world with him. I have also been round. I have been round the countries with. I have been round the country with the president. I have also been to several countries of the world with him. I have not seen any other Nigerian leader, past or present, with his kind of allure, pull, fascination, magnetism. And that is why Vice President Oshibajo is right to have described him as possibly the most popular Nigerian politician that we have ever had in this generation. Adesina buttressed his point of Buhari being admired by many Nigerians with an instance of how a crowd trooped to the streets when the president returned after his longest medical vacation abroad. He added, I remember that day in August 2017 when President Buhari returned to the country finally from his medical vacation. From January of that year, he had been in and out of a couple of times, but spending weeks and months outside attending to his health. And finally, on August the 19th, he returned home triumphantly. We were at the airport to receive him. I had told the story a number of times to dispel the idiocy that it was a certain Jubril of Sudan that came back and not Buhari. The daughter of the immediate past chief of defense staff, General Gabriel Olani Saki, was getting married, and I had attended both the church service and reception, decked in full Yoruba traditional attire of agbada and a cap to match. Straight from the ceremony, I went to the airport to join the welcome party for the president. We, the principal aides, were on a line to receive the president as he descended from the aircraft, and he shook hands with each person, having a wisecrack or the other to say, as it is typical of him. When he got to me, he said, Adesina, this is the best I have seen you dressed. And we both laughed. Jubril of Sudan, how did he know I was Adesina? How would he know how I would normally dress? Idiocy, I say again. But that is just a digression, not the story I really want to tell to support the topic at hand. We entered the vehicles lined up and the convoy moved. It was perhaps the longest journey I'd ever witnessed from the airport to town. Where did they come from? Like locusts, they swarmed onto the road, at many times forcing the convoy into a crawl. I didn't know that such a huge population resided in the communities alongside the airport road. Not induced, nor not induced nor procured in any way. The people trooped out in their thousands to welcome the president back. Multitude of ordinary Nigerians, the ones bearing burnt of whatever were happening in the country then. They came out on the road, waving, cheering, heralding the man they loved back into the country. Many times, the convoy was forced to a dead slow until the president had to wave at them and they cheered uproaringly. It took double or triple the normal time before we got to the presidential villa. When about a year later, those who thought they owned the country told the president pontificiously to dismount from the horse and not to run for a second term in office, I thought they were overreaching themselves. And so it was. The president ran in 2019 and he won, even with a wider margin than he did in 2015, when he had knocked a ruling party off its perch. So, when Professor Oshibajo says we possibly have the most colorful popular politician with us, it is by no means patronizing. Even now, with all the challenges in the country, let President Buhari make a public appearance anywhere, he will still be happily received against the conjecture of naysayers and evil hearts who conjure unrealistic things. Now, having such a leader in our country, one who wants nothing for himself and is only actuated by touching the lives of the people positively, how should we utilize him? Give maximum support and help him realize his vision, not virulent opposition as we see from certain untutored quarters. It is in our collective interest to support such a man for the glory and benefit of our country. Vice President Oshibanjo said only Buhari has the credibility to be able to solve some of the problems in our country now. Yes, he is the one the populace chose, voted into power despite all odds. Here, the vice president, and this is a quotation now from Oshibanjo, because this now is a quotation marks. It says, and I think because of his level of credibility, despite everything, he's still the only one who can call everyone, and even people who do not necessarily agree with him, know that he's a man of his words. Very true. This is our president, a man out to serve, not to be served. The virulent opposition we see in the land can only be self-serving, an odious attempt to grab power for power's sake. I'll rather follow an honest man for the sake of our country. One more thing. The vice president also told his London audience that we are better off as one people, one country. Yorubas are not better off on their own. Igbos are not better off on their own. The North is not better off on its own. We are better off as one country. That is why we are strong. and that is why we face the world. One hopes those beating the drums of discord, evil speech, and dismemberment are listening. Nigeria is stronger, better off as one united entity. Issues we have can always be resolved without breaking into splinters. That is the only way the labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. So there you are, Femi Adesina, as only he can. Nnamdi Kano's lawyer reacts to claim IPOB leader was given documents to sign as condition of his release. Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the lead counsel for the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, has debunked a claim making the rounds on the social media that his client was given a document to sign as a condition for his freedom. A story had circulated on Twitter on Thursday that the Nigerian government provided a document for the separatist leader to sign, but he rejected it. The IPOB leader's lawyer, however, described it as fake news meant to create panic amongst pro-Biafra agitators. Ejiofor disclosed this in a statement of the routine Ejiofor disclosed this in a statement of the routine visit to Kanu in the detention of the Department of State Services DSS on Thursday. He said Kanu also found the rumor laughable when he was told. He further stated that the Nigerian government has no plausible excuse not to produce Mazin Nnamdi Kanu in court on Thursday, the 21st day of October 2021. The statement reads, as the D-Day approaches, the legal team is not leaving any stone unturned towards ensuring that all the T's are crossed and all the I's dotted. It was indeed an eventful visit as our indefatigable client found it as laughable the series of false narratives being spread to the public domain, ostensibly sponsored by the agents of darkness who are very deep in their dream to prevent his appearance in court and to create a state of panic in the minds of his followers. Prominent amongst the falsehood desperately championed by mischief makers is the trending subject that our dear client, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, has been flown to China and from China to Israel and from Israel to Khartoum, Katafi, etc. We know the purveyors of these fake news and they are aware that their evil conspiracies are dead on arrival. Nnamdi Kanu was equally amused by another fake news that was making headline in some social media quarters that he was asked to sign a document before regaining his freedom. This is total falsehood and is urging his esteemed followers to please ignore this falsehood. Above all, our indefatigable client is strong and tenaciously holding firm in spirit. He is ready for the 21st of October 2021 appearance in court. This date is sacrosanct and shall remain so. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As ever, the IPOB space, there's so much just fables and storytelling that you struggle to weave through and to whittle through to get even to a grain of truth. It's just storytelling the whole space. That is just what they do. New revenue formula. No enough funds to run KEBBI, says Governor Bagadu. So there we are. Go roll up your sleeves then and head to the farms. Governor Atiku Bagadu says his administration does not have enough money to run the state the way he wants, lamenting the dwindling funds made available to KEBBI by the federal government. If you want to run a good primary education system, according to the Organization for European cooperation and development, the minimum amount of money you will require is $700 per pupil. So if you have 100,000 primary pupils, you should spend 700,000. You should spend rather 700. That's I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure. It says 700 million here, but I'm not quite sure if those figures are right. But you should spend 700 million dollars, Mr. Bagadu explained. Kebbi State, with about 540,000 pupils in primary school, need $400,000, and my total budget is less than $200 million. So we in Kebbi State are sympathetic to the federal government for its deficit, he added. Hence, we want to highlight the resource challenge and how we can be supported to mobilize our abundant resources for revenue generation in order to contribute our quota rather than taking money from the federal account. Mr. Bagadu stated this at the National Sensitization organized by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission to review the vertical revenue allocation formula held in Benin Kebbi on Thursday. Before allocation, there are challenges of mobilization. What do we correctly receive compared to our priorities? Our allocation in the country is under 7 our allocation in the country is under 700 billion in September. Less than 2 billion was shared by the states, local government and federal government. The governor noted there has not been a month where the equivalent of $2 billion was shared this year, because the $2 billion at official rate is about 800 billion naira. He also stated that most of the distribution has been under 700 billion a month, meaning that even in the best circumstances in 2021, what the three tiers of government would share is less than $24 billion. Mr. Bagadu added, the highest money shared was in 2013. Even then, it would not be enough as it was not able to fund our priorities. According to Mr. Bagadu, KEBBI received 65 billion naira this year and 70 billion naira in 2020, less than $200 million to cater for the needs of 5 million people in the state. The governor urged the RMAFC to concentrate on resource mobilization challenges and support a framework that would help the state develop its potential and contribute like all producing states. He charged stakeholders in the state to prioritize support for resource mobilization in the proposed review of the revenue allocation formula and changes to the nation's fiscal arrangement between the three tiers of government in the country. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, cap in hand as ever. So this guy has a population of about 5 million or so, but he has vast land. So just using that population, looking at that population and looking at the geographical mass that is Kebbi State, that already speaks to that population census, the census population figures that everybody knows is just completely doctored. So that land mass only has 5 million people in it. So where exactly are this mass in the north? That is one question. But he does have that land mass, and it does have a manageable 5 million population, and it does have $200 million per annum to conjure with. So it has a young but manageable population. It has vast land. That land is arable one. That land has resources contained underneath too. So that is just a mix for enormous wealth right there. So why don't you then use the funds that you are getting for from the federal government to build opportunities within your space, to give your people constructive engagement, something to do, and to generate your own internal money? But no, everybody is growing fat of the Niger Delta wealth. And that is the Nigerian story. Oliver Twist, please, sir, can I have more? Femi Adesina says it is idiocy to claim that Buhari has been replaced with a Jubril from Sudan. So pointedly at Nnamdi Kanu there, of course, Femi Adesina has rubbished claims by Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB, that President Muhammadu Buhari has been replaced with Jubril of Sudan. Adesina, who is Buhari's special advisor on media and publicity, said it is idiocy to claim that the president is dead and was replaced with Jubril at Sudani. Adesina disclosed this in his latest article titled The Essential Buhari, Vice President Oshibanjo Got It. The article reads in part, I remember, let's see, this is not going to be okay. A lot of this, let me pick it from this point because a lot of it actually repeats what we've already gone through. We were at the airport, so I'm picking it just from like a random paragraph now. We were at the airport to receive him. I have told the story a number of times to dispel the idiocy that it was a certain Jubril of Sudan that came back and not Buhari. The daughter of the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olani Saki, was getting married, and I had attended both the church service and reception, decked in full Yoruba traditional attire of agbada and a cap to match. Straight from the ceremony, I went to the airport to join the welcome party for the president. We, the principal aides, were on a line to receive the president as he descended from the aircraft, and he shook hands with each one, having one wisecrack or the other to say, as is typical of him. When he got to me, he said, Adesina, this is the best I have ever seen you dressed, and we laughed. Jubril of Sudan, how did he know I was Adesina? How would he know how I would normally dress? Idiocy, I say it again. But that is just a digression, not the story of the day. So essentially, Nnamdi Kanu, an idiot, is what we've just heard now from Afonja Adesina. So good to see you, gentlemen. Charlie Boy, Ovie Whiskey, and the mighty Ajanle Koko. So Ovie, to you, are you there, Ovie?
Yes,
Yes, yeah. So good morning. I imagine where you are. So Nnamdi Kanu is an idiot, is what Femi Adesina says, and he backs it up, especially hinging it on that ludicrous Jubril from Sudan narrative. So, what are you making of that, Adesina's words?
I'm not surprised. I mean, it's speaking from his paycheck, so I don't expect him to see Nnamdi Kanu, otherwise. So he's just speaking the minds of his paymasters. And again,
sorry, Ovie, do you think it's a real travesty, the amount of time that was and energy that was expended and wasted on that Jubril at Sudani narrative? Is that not madness?
Oh, it is. It's not. I mean, of course, it is waste of time. If every narrative in that regard coming from that, it's waste of. I've been saying it from the one. This is a distraction. It's a waste of time. We are just giving the government reason to hold on to that. I mean, at this point, you're coming out with this. It's just to keep that Nnamdi Kanu narrative going as a distraction. What is going on and what is ahead? So to me, it's all. I mean, from day one, I've been saying it. Now, political move and Buhari, it's all distraction. Now we be the victim. We now be the victim because if you look at the past 2-3 years of Buhari administration, I mean, all these years in power, if you say 40% of the permutation that is coming from this administration, it's not to hold them responsible. It's not even to criticize them, but it's just on NNAMDI Kanu, and all that. And it's annoyed at this point. I'm annoyed because it's we that want the nation to get better or to have a regional government or to even go as a president. This is not even a move forward. As far as I'm concerned, it's step just like Buhari is taking the whole nation back up with his policy. The same thing with this NNAMDI Kanu narrative of it. They're just taking us back. It's not helping us. That's why I'm sorry.
Yes, I am angry too, Ovie, for the reasons that
because we lost this election already because of all this nonsense. We lost. It's our own lost.
Yes, I was going to agree with you. I am angry too for the reasons that you are angry. You know, it's almost like that narrative. A lot of that narrative, they gave him an escape window. Buhari,
it's all planned by the
all the time that we're shouting Jubrila Sudani. You know, this guy was just escaping, because if we were not shouting Jubrila Sudani, then we would have been looking at his policy and his governance and attacking that instead. So we gave him just a cover story to escape.
At a time when the president went on holiday for 3 to 6 months, instead of us to be critical to say, okay, now there is a way, who is doing this, who is doing that, but instead, NNAMDI can bring a narrative that is
Jubrila Sudani, you know, so it's just unforgivable. Yeah.
20. I mean, that's the information warfare. You know, I keep alluding to that. It is real information. These days, it's not by gun, bullet. No, just for the fact that we are in information age. It's just words that we just throw everybody off the scale, and that's a classical example. I mean, I said the president is dead, and as educated and enlightened people actually buy into that narrative. That's what kills me, man. I mean, ignorant people who are not exposed, who are not learning, I understand. For God's sake, you even have iPhone, you have phone that you can just punch in some information and educate yourself. But you know,
even those educated. Yeah, come in, Ajaleko. Good to see you. Yeah, come in.
Yeah, you cannot blame Kanu in any way for what he did, for that propaganda warfare that he deployed against federal government of Nigeria. But rather, you should blame Buhari for the mess. This is a president that doesn't speak. This is a president that doesn't talk. This is a president that failed to act at the appropriate time. I mean, somebody called you Brio of Sudan, and you as the president of Nigeria cannot come out to debunk it, to speak to your people that voted for you.
You don't want to blame every
Hold on. This is a warfare. This is a propaganda warfare.
And that's one reason you should give into it, by even addressing it at all. If you address it, that means you give legitimacy to the
He has a responsibility as the president of Nigeria, voted for, to come out and speak to the people.
No, I am not on that subject. I am not. No, I am not. Nobody will do that.
I am not. There's a way he can. There's a way he can do it.
Ajaleko, no, I don't agree with you. That doesn't
mean. Hold on. Let me speak now. Let me speak. Look, you can stand up. You can invite what do you call some of even the Igbo leader to the White House. I mean, to the presidential villa.
For and start calling them.
Hold on, man. And you can start calling their name. Oh, Mr. Ezerenwaku, Mr. This thing. Just show to Nigeria that this guy is just talking nonsense. But you didn't do it, and you allow this thing, you know, to filter on for long time. So what do you expect? These people are at war with you, and they carry out propaganda against the nation, and you didn't respond effectively. Look, propaganda is part of warfare to win the war. So you cannot, you can. That guy was very effective in his using that propaganda against the federal government, and he rattled them seriously. Did you watch the video? Did you watch the video of Obasanjo saying that people at the high top were asking him that, Baba, is it true that president is not Buhari?
Today, as you are now, somebody from your
and
village,
you want to blame him? You said he doesn't have to respond, and you are saying on the other side that he pulled the nation progress back. Ovie, consider what you said. That you said he pulled the progress of the project. He pulled the nation back, and you are saying that the president was not supposed to respond to it. Come on, it was a very effective propaganda, and he rattled them. They're supposed to respond on time and debunk it. Show that the president, carry out an action. Carry out an action to kill it, to show to the whole world that, oh, this guy is just a liar. But you didn't do that, and you gave him that opportunity to rattle you like that. Come on.
Can I say something?
Yes.
First of all, I said it's a setback because it is we, the citizens, that are reacting to it.
But
I ask you a question. As you are now, can anybody from your village, somebody you don't know, just come and say, "Oh, Ajaleko gonna witch"? Nah, the America, the Canada, the whatever, and you actually sit down, take out of your time, respond to that kind of person. No,
but here's the issue
over here. It's a propaganda. Once you respond to it, you legitimate it. There's no point. You say that I'm dead. Okay. How can you say the president should stand and respond to him? Who is he? And what is the propaganda for? It doesn't make sense. We are set back because we pay attention to that. He doesn't care. And which is that supposed to be? I will not respond to that kind of a thing. It is we that are entertaining that kind of rubbish that are wasting our time. Not the president, you know what he's doing. Why would he respond to that kind of a thing? That he's dead. So he should not come out and say, "Oh, I'm not dead," though, because he doesn't have anything to do. That doesn't make sense. You just said it. It's a propaganda. So why are we falling for it? The person that was directed it to, he doesn't even care. We will pay so much attention analyzing it instead of us to find solution to how do we move forward. That's what I'm saying. The guy is at that point, he's a nuisance as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but here's the issue.
Yes, he's nobody. Why would they respond to him?
But here's the issue over here. Here's if you don't understand. Common thing I'm trying to say is happening today. It will happen in Anambra State. The army killing people. You see? And the South were lazy. The South didn't realize the danger is coming. They didn't realize the North to South. They didn't realize what friends they're doing. Now they realize what's going on. It's too late. They should realize, oh, the friends are coming to take your land over and killing you. They're going to spread the army, but using their arm and just start killing your people. And you guys will stay and do anything. Now they realize. So something I'm trying to say, something is false, but something is true. But something you say is false, but some part of it is true. But the fight coming to kill your people, and now that's the reason why the evil youth or angry at the party, the evil party who came to life, they angry at him. Don't anger at him because if people been killed, you came here to vote for Anambra State election, but if people been killed, why you come to Lagos for? Go do it in Anambra State for campaign, not in Lagos. If people been killed. See, that's why a lot of youth are angry.
You lost. I don't even know.
All right, Charles. Thank you. But Charles, we know, as we did then, now that Buhari is not Jubril from Sudan. It's a despicable man. It's an evil man. It's the worst thing that we have ever seen. Yes. But it's not Jubril from Sudan. So all of that 2 years that the whole of the media space was just overwhelmed by Jubril. Those are just wasted time. But you are an Ajale Koko, you have a different view. But
that's like giving the presidency, just turn your back on the presidency, let them do whatever they are doing.
Yes, it's just a free window. They give them a free window now with that Jubril nonsense.
And it's working, yes. It's a propaganda, Ajale Koko, you rightly put it. So why are we falling for it?
All right. Ovie, let me move you on to. Thank you, gentlemen. Let me move you on to the next talking point, just for reasons of. Actually, let me give you this. Hold on. Um, Actually, let me move you on to the next talking point. I do beg your pardon. There's just one story that just popped up that I wanted to share with you. But before, as I try to dig up that, let me see if I've got it here. Sorry. Actually, I'll keep you still with Femi Adesina, OVA. And this guy must understand that Buhari only has a year and a bit left, and there's plenty life left after the Buhari administration. Adesina is still a relatively young man, but he seems to be selling his soul, the very core of everything that he is. He seems to be selling it to that Aboki from Daura. This is the audacious thing, Ovie, that Femi Adesina has now said. He says Buhari is the most loved politician in Nigeria's history, more popular than Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Aminu Kano, and others. This is what Femi Adesina is saying. So, I mean, we all know that, you're always quoting the 28 laws of powers, etc., etc. One of the laws of powers in that book is never outshine your master. So you kowtow to your master. But there's kowtowing, and then there's Femi. What is he doing? What does that? Buhari more popular than Awo, than Zik, than Aminu Kano. This is what this guy is saying. What is that?
There are two reasons that inform that. One, he's doing his job and as best as he can. I mean, covering up for his master, which is expected. But two, again, just to get us talking, because why would he even bring that out? I don't know why. As in, what informed that he just sit down and say, "Come on, man, go around to these people up. Just tell them, say, their Lord, this man is better." I mean, because if that's not the case, why? There's no comparison. I don't even know how. I wasn't born at the time, but today I talk about him as if I saw him campaigning. The same thing goes to Aminu Kano and the rest of them. Can we say that of Buhari in the next 30, 40, 50 years' time? Even with all these advantages that he has in terms of TV, radio, internet, and everything, which are not in place during the hours and the rest. But we are still talking about it. Are we going to talk about Buhari in the next 5, 10 years like this? I doubt it. So the comparison, he knows from his own, from where he seated that. It doesn't hold any water. It doesn't make any sense. But hey, at this point, give the people anything that will keep them busy so we can figure out what the next move is. That's it. That's exactly what you are saying. The politicking is on at its best at this point. So they want to rattle us up. They want to rattle it. So it's working.
Well, if he wants to rattle us up, it's certainly succeeding, because I'm not sure that I'm not sure in what essentially is one of the most annoying time we have been in. I'm not sure I've ever heard something more annoying that Buhari is more popular than Awo.
The man is educated, he's exposed, he's smart, so you know what he's doing. It's not that you don't know what he do. I just say I know what he's a journalist at his best, so he's just doing his job. And you said he's young. What he should know that there's more to life. Yes, by the time his administration finish, based on the money we don't make and the popularity, your other job will come easily. You can easily go back to the pulpit and preach. Trust me. So he's just doing his job. We all know that. I don't take such comments to heart
all right. Anything. Yeah. All right. Ovie, you've been here several times where we've mocked, especially me, Femi Fani-Kayode, calling him a prostitute, etc., etc. But that prostitution is not unique or peculiar to Femi Fani-Kayode. Let me start you with this, and then I'll bring you a story after this. But let me play you a video clip first.
Hang your guards! What you don't understand is this. The moment that happens, the Spirit of God departs from Saul and landed on David. And so you'll be making useless decisions. You'll be making terrible mistakes and blunders because the spirit of ill will has come upon you. Somebody say Nigeria for Nigeria movement. I'm letting you know it's about to start. I'm going to champion it. It's going to go like wildfire across this nation. Nigeria for Nigerians. You'll be bigger than Save Nigeria Group. You have never seen anything like it before. It's a movement propelled by God. Nigeria for Nigerians to deliver us from the hands of oppressors. In the mighty name of Jesus. This is a fight to finish. I'm not going to die for this country. I'm going to live for it. Nigeria will prosper in my lifetime. Nigeria will be saved. Nigeria will be changed. Nigeria will become great. It is the wicked that the land will vomit. In the name of Jesus. Somebody say, wow. The people said, to your tent, O Israel.
Okay, so Vie, there you heard him in his own words. Pastor, whatever it is called, declaring war on Tunde Bakare, declaring war on Buhari. So, with that setting the background today, so Vie, days after swearing not to say Buhari again, Pastor Bakare crawls back to Aso Rock. And there's a picture evidence of this. That's the headline. Days after swearing not to see Buhari again, and we even saw him declare war, Pastor Bakare crawls back to Aso Rock. Pastor Tunde Bakare was at the State House on Friday, barely days after vowing not to visit President Muhammadu Buhari again, because of all his previous meetings with the Nigerian president had yielded no good result for the Nigerian people. The senior pastor of the Citadel Global Community Church was seen in pictures with the president on Friday afternoon. President Buhari's spokesman Femi Adesina shared the pictures on Facebook. President Buhari received Pastor Tunde Bakare in the State House on the 15th of October 2021. Mr. Adesina wrote, the meeting came days after Mr. Bakare said he had launched a movement to find a solution to Nigeria's crisis, saying he had come to realize that Mr. Buhari was not the leader Nigerians anticipated. Weeks earlier, Mr. Bakare, known for his fiery sermons, said he was in a new war with Mr. Buhari for his failure to bring peace and economic succor to Nigerians. I am not interested in meeting you any longer. No more visits. Now it is war because Nigeria must be set free. Mr. Bak, you heard him, I can play the rest of it, but that's the sermon. Mr. Bakare said in the sermon on July the 25th, recounting how he was instrumental to Buhari's emergence. Previously, Mr. Bakare, who was Buhari's running mate in 2011 presidential election that they lost to Goodluck Jonathan, had said God told him Mr. Buhari would stabilize the country. He later issued a statement to dismiss the president as an agent of destabilization who had little interest in the country's prosperity. His visit to the presidential villa today added to several of such he had made since Buhari assumed office. So there we are. If we are calling Femi Fani-Kayode a prostitute, what now the pastor of here? Let's just look at that.
I don't call them prostitutes, I call them hustlers. So it is hustling at his bed. But I think that's how much they respect the Nigerian people. Because they can. I know I was accusing the intellectuals a couple of days ago, and some people are like, these people know how to galvanize us when it's time to serve their interests.
We are just pawns in a game that is bigger than us. That is just it. We are pawns in a game that is bigger than us.
Yes, I am taking his word literally. He said is forming a movement that is bigger than Save Nigeria.
He declared war now. You heard him now. He declared war.
Yes, I believe him. What just happened? He just went to Oga, say, Oga, na the framework be this, so we will soon start work. We need protection, we need that. This is just to segment the Nigerian the voters into segments so that come that day they will just lead them straight to vote. and at the end of the day, you go give the president receipt, say, oh God, this is my contribution, and you get your share. That's exactly what is happening. This is a man who is on a mission to serve his own personal interests. I'm not angry for that. I don't blame him for that. I only blame people who are not seeing it. When I say everything are politics, it's more to that phrase than how it comes out. And that's exactly what you are saying. This is a man who has, what, thousands of followers. So you have to know how to package them. You have to be in a standing front for both sides. That is the government and your people, so you can flourish. So I understand. I mean, is it not the Adesina that released the pictures without even saying anything? So they know what.
Yes, of course. Now he's just pointing and say, "Look at him." That's it. He doesn't even have to write it. Just say, "Look at him." Look, you see, look, you see. But it just reminds me of that Reverend Mbaka or Father Mbaka that will go on the pulpit and curse and this thing, and they will take contractors to also rock in the dead of night. So it's just we're just pawns. We're just being used by everybody.
Be surprised that the next president who is coming, who is going to be a new person that we have not seen before, it is a southerner. Trust me, we are going to an era whereby you'll be seeing all these pastors accepting active political role in government as it comes. And that's exactly what you are saying. What you are saying, the man know what thing they do. He has the populace on his side. Now to just go submit to Oga, say Oga, I'm good to go.
You know, all these pastors, they have a golden ticket now. You know they have a golden. Do you know what their golden ticket is? The Lord told me.
Yeah.
So that's their golden ticket now. The Lord told me, and they will do anything. The Lord told me. I said, no, God, remove this from me. But the Lord said, no, my son, we want you to go and collect dollars. You know, this is the thing.
So it is the pastors are very, very important to the politicians than any other person in the society, because their followers are legit, are very obedient. Anything. If we wake up today, say member of winners, no bar for 3 days. I am telling you, more than 1 million Nigerians will not bar for 3 days.
Have we not seen pastors tell the congregation to be eating grass?
Exactly.
So this is it.
They are very, very important to politicians. Very, very powerful too. So they're just using us. I mean, in fact, I respect FFK than the pastor himself.
At least we know what he is, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's his hustle. That's how he did. That's how I feel. I heard that some of his kids has been thrown. I mean, he was to appear in court, but he refused to show up. That is because he's an APC member. So there are benefits to all these things. We should be. I know they love them. I am not laughing at them at all. I'm not a man. I admire their courage to just move easy without.
But then, Ovie, what faith the Nigerian person in all this game that is going on? What is the faith then? Is of the Nigerian person that lives in probably the wealthiest country in the world, but certainly he is the poorest man on the planet. So what fate to the Nigerian man?
I think the problem that we, the average Nigerian, have is that, I know you use the word faith in a different way, but I'm using that faith, that belief that, there's life after this. God will do them. It go better. That is what is setting us back. And this whole comment of God, who understand both sides of the eye, knows, and that's what they are using against. Now, I know they blame those leaders again. I keep saying, in an age of information, ignorance is a choice. I don't see you having a smartphone on your hand and somebody will just speak some kind of things and you just go to watch music. I love this program. I strive to be on this program every day because of the new information I get from people I agree and disagree with. Most of the information that come over here, after we close, I will go on my own, begin research. Waiting on laptop, waiting Ajale could talk. How far is it? Oh, this information is new to me. So at this point, that is how you do with all these religious leaders. Don't just consume everything they tell you. Educate yourself. I know they blame them at all. In fact, as I said, that is an industry that I have my eyes on. I will invest heavily in churches.
I'm willing to do that now because, like you said, it's one of the most lucrative spaces there is. Yes. So if there's somebody with the charisma and the drive, and it just needs, I'm willing to put
in
money.
Nigeria, you don't have to have the charisma, the college. Just find small money, build one beautiful place, call them, put somebody there. Just do some antiques. Provide.
No. You have to have somebody with charisma now that can do the jigging and jagging that they like to, the jigga jagga.
It's that, and that's why I say our main problem is that too. we are miseducated. We need to uneducate ourselves the way they educate us. And this religion, we should scrutinize this religion. Well, what is the purpose? What's it? Just like the challenge one guy will come from my village. He thought Mary Slessor was a woman that solved the killing of twins in my village. We should ask like, which kind of thing? Like, are you serious? If your history starts from 19th century, go back. So there's so many. At this point, as I said, now with the citizen, especially a grown Nigerian who has access to phone. I think these people should not be deceiving you easily like that again. If you have a phone, don't be deceived. Just ask why. So the man is coming from Asurok. There should be a reason. That beyond going to God. That's why I was telling you.
It's just a pity, you know. Everybody, you know, there's nowhere to place hope. If you remember Charlie Boy as well, that was always on the street demonstrating, etc., etc. And then suddenly, Festus Keyamo released text messages. And apparently, this guy was also collecting dollars. So they were just used as pawns.
That's why
we're just pawns.
Yeah, that's why one yesterday I was trying to kind of argue that what we are talking about Buhari religion and all that is not going to happen. It's because of all this, not because it's because the people who would have stand their ground and say yes, this must go through, give up easily at the sight of money, appointment, and all that. So that's why I keep saying it will not happen. In CBD was trying to tell me, I keep saying politician. This is exactly what I'm saying. This is Bakari, clean man of God. What the hell is it going back and forth in a political? Asurok is not a church, it's not a chapel, it's not. No. What is going there is straight armor. It is sledge everybody out. That's what is going on there. And it's going there. So when in CBD they say, oh, I just talk about our politics, on our politics. Because at the end of the day, no matter who you be or what you do, you still have to say yes sir to the power that be, which is being constituted by politics and politicians. So the moment we shift that admiration and adoration towards our religious leader and just focus a little bit of attention to our politicians, how they move. I'm not saying you should adore and respect them. No, question them, ask them, what are you doing with my money? It's not your money. My money we then give you to come do something for my constituency. What have you done with it? They will make attempt to bribe you. If you collect it, then you are the same. You don't have any.
Ovie, one of the things that could be done is to publish publicly how much everybody is getting. So that local government, if they come for that month and they get what?
I am
20 billion naira. Then you publish it in that community that this month they got 20 billion naira. So the whole community knows that 20 billion naira is in the pocket. So that they can then. So that's just what this
where my attention is going. I'm trying to do this. I get somebody inside that every month this local government goes to amount. Let's go after the person that the senator, the commissioner, whatever that money is given. How did you use it? I'm not saying you call, just tell him what did you use it for. So until we get to that point with the city, because that's actually our role.
Because there's no reason why it should not be. There's not one reason on earth why that money amount should not be known.
You understand?
In fact, that is one of these what this revenue allocation, whatever to be doing.
Every
month they publish how much every state gets.
I don't care about your salary.
Council. They're not their salary, but just their budget.
Constituency projects. We should know, and that's why I keep blaming us, the citizens. That's our role. People who fought and died to make sure we transfer from military to democracy is so that we, the citizen, cannot just have a say, but take part, practically. But we are not doing our own job. Our job is just simply to ask questions. Just keep asking. Oga Commissioner, Oga Senator, this month, now 5 million, they say we could put for our constituency. What did you use it for? Everybody should start asking his senator to be having an office in his local government and at least be in that office.
No, I think they are meant to anyway. They are meant to have monthly surgeries. They call it a surgery with their
we are not questioning them. That's what we are doing
every quarter. That's what they should be doing.
I think that is the same argument Jafar and Black Lives Matter are trying to make yesterday when they are saying that don't exonerate the National Assembly and focus on the because true, if we want to come up Buhari tomorrow, That is the only place that can do it, the National Assembly, and we are not asking them question. I don't even want to know how much you get paid. That's not my business. How much is my own money that you are insisting on? So if we start doing our own work with the citizens, it's not going to be easy. But if we start doing that, trust me, then we are away. But if we start just insult them, oh, they give my 5 years of APC, the commissioner was allocated 5 billion for him for my constituency, and he chop him. We just come to insult her. Oh, it's corrupt. Oh, it's foolish. Oh, it's this. How does that make sure that the next person that is coming doesn't follow that route? When all we do is just to no, we go sit down for years, no come out.
All right.
I see what is going to happen.
All right, thank you, V. I think fella already said it. Pope na enjoyment, Imam na gbaladun. So there it is, right there. Pope na enjoyment, Imam na gbaladun. But you are talking about to more transparency in how monies are handled. So let me take you then to KEBBI State. It says a new revenue formula, not enough funds to run KEBBI State. This is the governor of the state, Bagadu, and he's saying essentially that he gets approximately $200 million to run a state of 5 million people. So, but with a very large land mass. So he's complaining about that is what he's getting from the federal coffers. But of course, there's nothing, I'm arguing, preventing him from generating money internally. So what are you making then of this belly aching by KEBBI State that they're not getting enough of the Delta money?
Again, if I have to blame somebody, I'll still blame the citizen of that state. Why? Because that is the people you choose to be your leader, to pioneer the affairs of that state. This man come and clearly and tell you, "Oga, I know if you do this job." Oh. Why? Because I know they see free money collect again. I don't know why. Seriously, because that's exactly what the governor is telling his followers, people that voted, people that believe that he can do the job. So you are telling the citizen that you don't have anything upstairs, that you cannot actually go into your state and identify people who have the capacity, the knowledge and wisdom and bring them to the table as they come. How do we manage the resources that we have in this state and turn it to something else? No, it doesn't have the ability to do that because they are used to going to the federal government and sit down, they get something and come back. And when he come, he tie one small road for us, we go to celebrate them. How do we celebrate government officials who utilize our money to work for us? We go to celebrate them. I see no reason why we go to celebrate governor that tie road, public road that is tied with our money. All you do just to supervise that, and we go to celebrate them. So the whole
how much does it cost to VA to buy tubers to plant and grow yam or seeds to grow, or to buy seedlings or to buy kids to rear?
And the funniest thing, they don't even have to do that by themselves.
So how much does it cost? So you are getting $200 million. Yes, you have a population of 5 million and you can't do anything. You are begging for Niger Delta money.
The likes of FEMI and Tinubu are advocating that the Nigerian youth should turn to a military gang.
And look at that.
But they don't speak things say come out of these students. So there are people who are agriculturists, nurses and doctors. How do we give them some money to go into the state and community and start something so that they can pay tax that will be enough to carry the affairs of the state? What do we say? So at the end of the day, if I be governor, said maybe I will do the same thing because the people that I'm leading, the people who are supposed to put me on check, are sleeping. I'm a fucking human being. If I know where I go get free money, where I go work. So at the end of the day, I believe we should focus attention on us. We should start asking ourselves questions. Just what I said yesterday, we say we have bad institutions. These institutions are considered by human beings. So it is us, we ourselves, we should start asking ourselves questions. What are we doing? So until we start challenging ourselves, then we will see where the problem is. We know the problem, but we'll see where it's coming from, how this problem being put together, because it's not artificial. Everything you are saying is not, I mean, for a grown man who campaign and beg that I can do this job, All of a sudden, he does, yeah, I don't tire, money no day again, no, like, resign. It's as simple as that. Go.
All right, thank you, V.
It's us, the citizen. It's us. Everything has to do with us. We are all screwed up somewhere.
All right, thank you. Thank you, V. Let me move you on, V, for reasons of time. And then just quickly on this one now. Nnamdi Kano's lawyer reacts to claims IPOB leader was given documents to sign as condition for his freedom. So a lot of the narrative that we're hearing from that space now are conciliatory tones, tonalities of negotiation and plea bargaining, to the point now that they are putting rumors out there that they are getting to final stages of that negotiation, that documentation is being presented. The lawyer debunks this, but what are you just making then of that story that's being put out there as a filler? What do you think is going on?
I wouldn't be surprised if such a move has been made, but I'm more interested. What is the content of the letter, whatever they give him to sign? I think that's what is important. What are the options? What are the, are they giving that 5 states to rule?
No, it is a fake story, because okay, the lawyer has debunked it as a fake story, but somebody put it out as a story. And I am querying: is it the Kanu space that is putting it out just to sensitize and put that possibility into play?
I don't think I would treat her like that as a fake news. Why? Because it's something that is expected. At this point, a negotiation will go on either from their own side, but either ways, talks must be going on. So if there's an attempt like that, there could be, but that's why I said I wish the person who broke this news or whatever go further and say, okay, on this, whatever they're giving to sign.
Because the lawyer says it's fake news, AJ4, and they said Nnamdi Kanu laughed when he heard that was the story that was going round, and he is blaming it on mischief makers, that it is mischief makers that are putting that story out. But a lot of story comes out around that space. A lot of it they don't even hear, never mind respond to. So they are responding to this, which then means that it's in the rounds somewhere. But who put it in the rounds?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same thing that Adesina and the rest are doing. Just to make sure every day they bring out something just to keep them relevant. That's all it's about. So, not to forget that there's somebody calling them the Kanu in custody. Of course, everybody could just sit down and bring something out, and whatever you say about Kanu now, we surely travel from where you put it out there because of it's what he represents and what is going on. But again, we should pay attention. Which information is geared to take our eyes off the goal?
All right, but not everything is to take out, because you seem to be thinking everything are diversion.
No, not everything. That's why I said we should pay attention. We should be able to filter what our attention, what analyzing, and what is just okay. We just let it go, and just like the lawyer dismisses it and laugh over it. But again, I wouldn't be surprised. You are in custody. At this point, there's call from every news and channel around the world to say, okay, well, how do we get you out, whatever. So offers will be in stake, but I'm more interested in what is on that offer. Is it the 5 states?
All right. Yeah. I was going to go to Ajanle Koko, but he seemed to have either lost connection or gotten fed up and left. And then I was going to go to Jafar, who also seemed to have either lost our connection.
I won't go say.
Okay, I think we have Ajanle Koko back.
He's back.
I know. I was just going to round off, but I think we have Ajanle Koko back. So Ajanle Koko, good to have you back. So are you there, Ajanle Koko?
Yeah. Good morning, one man. How are you?
Good morning, Ajanle Koko. Always a delight. But so Ajanle Koko, all of us, we have all heard foolish things that somebody says something. We hear it every day, foolish things. Even us, all of us, we have all said foolish things. But have you ever heard, Ajanle Koko, or ever said yourself anything more foolish than this? Buhari, the most loved politician in Nigeria's history, more popular than Awolowo, Azikiwe, Aminu Kano, others. FEMI Adesina saying this, I contending in my head if this is the most foolish thing I've ever heard. But your thoughts, Ajale Koko, Buhari, the most popular Nigerian in history.
Yeah, it's a very foolish statement. Buhari himself will not say that. Buhari as a person will never come and say that he is popular than Sadwana, than Aminu Kano, than Awolowo, than Azikiwe. He can. Buhari himself will never say that. And I remember Buhari said in one of his public outing, praising Awolowo as one of the greatest leader that our nation will have had, or the greatest leader our nation will have had if he was allowed to govern our nation. I remember that vividly when he visited, I think Ibadan or somewhere, he was saying so. So, Adesina, maybe they need to send him back to school to teach him history of Nigeria. Those that fought for the independence of Nigeria, those that were able to, those that sat together to fashion out one of the best constitution that today, I mean, that is a model to some countries, to some country in some part of the world today. The constitution that we had in the 60s before the military rule, the constitution that really gave us that system of federalism where every region control their resources and develop at their own pace. So the people that sat down to wrote those constitution, they were great men. They were people that have the interests of their people at heart. People that are very futuristic, people that, saw the complexity, the diversity of that country and sat down, wrote a very good constitution that gave everybody their own freedom. The North had their own freedom. The East had their own freedom. The West had their own freedom. And they used that constitution to govern that country well, with peace of mind. Unlike what we have today, that does not give anybody that economic freedom. It doesn't give us that unity. It doesn't give us that sense of purpose as a nation. So comparing people that wrote that constitution that gave us that freedom, peace of mind, everybody in their own region to develop at their own pace, comparing it to a person that was submitted with a report of constitutional report by Jonathan that failed, that promised that he will implement, he will carry out restructuring, but got to the throne, failed to implement it, failed to do all that he promised the people of the nation before he was elected in the country. Now comparing them that this guy that has run the nation economy downward, he has made the nation the poverty capital of the world. He has made the nation the number third most insecure nation in the world. He has made the nation as number one country with the most disappeared people. He has made the nation, he has given the nation that bad image. Now saying that this man is greater than people that govern their own region well, people that develop their region from nothing to what we have as record today. We have in the north the granite pyramid. We had in the west the cocoa we can boast of cocoa house today.
And
What
palm
cocoa
kernel
house
in the east, yeah.
in the east, we saw cocoa house, we saw first television service in the whole of Africa that Awolowo put in place. We saw free education that never happened in the history of Africa that Awolowo did in the West. And this bastard is saying that this criminal-minded president is greater than them. They need to send that guy back to school. You know.
Why do you think he's saying it, Ajande Koko? Because even Buhari, as we know him, he would recoil from this level of sycophancy. Buhari himself, as you said, he doesn't consider himself especially to that level of Zik, Awo, and Aminu Kano. So he knows his place, Buhari, and he knows that this guy is just yanking his balls with this statement. So why would Femi Adesina stoop so low?
Well, we have said it several times that our people, when they are in the position of power, and particularly when they are serving a boss that they know that is very weak, that is very incompetent, that can barely strategize, can barely, run anything well. They know his weakness, and that leader rely on them to do anything, and they can perpetrate their shady deals and perpetrate, corrupt practices and all the rest. So because they are doing their corrupt practices at the best they can without the president noticing that, or without the president stopping them. So they see him as their God, and we praise him to high heaven. So I think that is what is happening. There are a lot of things that is going on in the presidency there that is very abnormal, that if we are to be a normal situation and have a competent leader, that won't be able to happen. So they are doing a lot of things that, are very abnormal, and they are getting away with it. So they will praise it because the money is flowing good into their pocket, and illegal fund and all the rest that, they enjoy. So they will continue to praise him as the best. So that is what is happening. It's just, following the other boss too, the professor, professor of law, and who is as well known as a pastor that went to London and lied. So it's just the same thing. They all lie. They are birds of the same feather. They know they are not governing the nation well. So all they will do is just to lie, to deceive the people, and make the man at the helm of affair, who is a failure, to portray him as a success to us. So that is purely what they are doing. Simple, just to
All
their
right.
failure, color their failure as a success. So that's it.
All right. I'll tell you somebody that it looks as though the dollars are not flowing to his pocket anymore. We saw him in July mount the rostrum to declare war on Buhari and say he's starting a movement that is going to launch at Aso Rock. So fast forward to October the 15th, 2021 today, we see this same man in Abuja, in Aso Rock, kowtowing to this Buhari that he declared war on just barely July. So Pastor Tunde Bakare again, yet another thing. We called Fanika a prostitute here, but at least I did often enough. So what now are you making now, this supposed man of God, Tunde Bakare?
Tunde Bakare is, I don't know what is going on with that man now. He's changing to another thing entirely. We used to know him as a person that stand by his word, and but recently we say something and do another thing. Maybe it's old age, I don't know. But what he said in July that he will never visit him again, or he doesn't have anything to do with him now visiting him again. What must have responsible for that? That is what I don't know. It might be an invitation from the president, you know. Yeah, but sometimes
Yeah, very forgiving man, or Adale Koko, eh?
wait, it might be an invitation, and as a man of God, you might feel, well, let me visit him. Maybe he's having a change of heart. Maybe he want to do something good. Let me see how I can help him. I want us to remember that he was his vice president in 2011 or 2012. I think they have developed a very good friendship for a long time. So, but at the same time, we have to condemn him for his action, for saying that he will not visit him. Now visited him. After that, what was so what was responsible? He need to let us know. He need to come to the podium and tell us again, Oga, you said this man, you will not visit him again, that you are championing a war against him. Why did you change? Why they need, I wish somebody can be courageous and put that question to him in the church and let us tell us what is responsible. We want to know. You know,
but Adale Koko, you know, he will only whip out his get out of jail card now. You know, their get out of jail card. The Lord told me. Is the Lord? As soon as he just this, the Lord told me now. Yeah.
You know, these men of God, they just call themselves men of God. They are just like us. They are no special people. They are not. They are not. They just try to say whatever they want to say all the time. They are not special people. They are human beings like us. They can do the worst as we do. So, but we need to hold him responsible. Ask him question why he visited him after saying that he will not visit him again. We need to ask him question. It's just unfortunate that he acted like that because a lot of people hold him to a high esteem, and we believe what he says all the time. It's unfortunate, and recently he's been acting funny, and I don't know what is responsible. It wasn't like that before. I don't know what is. Maybe it's old age. Maybe I don't know.
Ajale Koko, what this Buhari administration, one of the things is really exposing to us is just how deep the cut is within the Nigerian space. just the level of hypocrisy, and just now declare understanding to the Nigerian person that you are cast adrift and you either rescue or yourself or you sink. So we've had Charlie Boy, who has been exposed by Keyamo collecting dollars. We've had Father Mbaka, who has been exposed collecting dollars. We were not surprised, of course, that Femi Fanikade is a dollar merchant. So now we now have one of the lead pastors in the thing that mounted the rostrum declaring war on the space, and fast forward just a few months later, is there doing Rankadede. So then, who do you then vest hope in? Because whoever you vest hope in Nigeria, you already know the journey of most of them. They will be, there's just we're just pawns, aren't we? Really, in the Nigerian story, the people are just pawns to be sacrificed and used.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that people that Nigerians are seen as their leaders in all various fields of life in that country are not truly leading the people well. They say one thing and they do another thing. It's unfortunate that we have turned to very, very unreliable people, particularly those that in the position of leadership at all different field of life. The people that should be seen as most trustworthy or trustworthy people could have been the religious leader. The religious leader should have been the most trustworthy that everybody can look up to, because according to what they claim, they are championing the word of God, and the word of God stand by the truth. So they should demonstrate that every time. Whatever they say, they should stand by it. They should not change their position. I mean, if they want to change their position for any reason, they should let us know publicly, this is what is happening. It shouldn't have visited that place. Look, it shouldn't have visited that place. It should have tell them they should come. This is where he said it to the people. Let government send their representative and come and tell the world what they want to do. It should have, issued out a kind of a conditional statement that, look, you have not done well. Come and tell the people what you want to do. Let him stand by the people. But this religious leader, they are becoming very, very untrustworthy, and they are failing the people. And we who are we going to run to now? Nobody. Nobody we can run to. They have failed us entirely, and that is why you never see them speak. Those that are the most powerful. Where is Adeboye?
Yeah.
He doesn't speak.
Ajale Koko, if you don't mind me pausing you for a moment just to go to Thomas and hear his politics, because you know how we like to hear new voices. But before I pause you, Ajale Koko, how would you feel then if your main man, Showore, is also seen at Aso Rock collecting his own swag bag full of dollars as well? So I mean, you can't discount it, Showore, because that's dollars they spend in America, isn't it, where he's from? So Showore to Aso Rock to go and collect his own bag full.
Do you know how many times they have attempted to do that? That guy.
And the money is not enough, when they reaches a level.
Showore will not give in to this kind. I can vouch for him anytime, any day. Showore have a record of consistent fighting for the people, standing up for the people, and not yielding to any pressure from any quarter. And you can see him on the street every day fighting for the people. But it's unfortunate that Nigerian people are not standing with him to fight for their nation, to take their nation and
$100 million
fight for
will test anybody's morality, $100 million. What is
Showore.
Showore's price?
Showore, I think his media house is
You
doing
know how he likes
well.
to do fine boy now. You know
He
how Showore
won't
likes
take,
to do fine boy. $100
he
million.
will,
He will
Showore
put
will
their
not take.
looter down. He will put.
It is not.
I'll go about it.
So you see those boys, Showore, Adeyanju, all those boys. We still want to give it to them. Let us see what they will do in the future. But for now, they have proven to us that yes, they are ready to fight. Continue to fight for the people. We have to give it to them. Let's still. I still believe in Showore.
All
I don't
right.
want to. I don't want to predict. I don't want to predict that. Yes, because he has that status of consistency since the university days.
All
Do you
right.
know how much? Do you know how much the Jonathan them want to bribe this guy? That this guy refused. That didn't take from them. They were, and he should have taken it from Jonathan because Jonathan is an German like him. So, but
right.
this guy stood up against them. He didn't take it, and he continued to fight. That is a consider. But Nigerians don't want to follow. They want to fight for their rights. That is the problem.
Right.
They want to continue to follow religious leaders that are taking money from politicians. The 10% every time that flow in from politicians weaken them too. They cannot really fight well for you because that 10% is a big money from politicians coming to the church purse.
Ajale Koko, I'm sure your faith in Showore is well placed, but if that day does come, and should that day come, just promise us that you won't run away when Showore goes to collect his own swag bag, the dollar bag. Just come here and take your beating because he will do it. I'm pretty sure. So don't run away, because at least you didn't run away from Peter Obi, so I don't expect you to run away from Showore. They are all negotiating their price.
I want to guarantee you that Showore will not give in for any money, for any. He won't give in. I trust him. I trust him. I trust that guy. Yeah, he is the man that Nigerian supposed to follow, supposed to stand with, but Nigerians are not ready to fight, and it's unfortunate that. But when the church call Holy Ghost, everybody want to run for that. They're looking for a magic to solve their problem. Magic is not. What do they call it? I don't want to say it's not magic. They call it
manna from heaven or miracle
miracle. They're looking for miracle to solve their problem. Miracle cannot solve the problem of any nation. It is hard work that solves the problem of every nation. Hard work, and people have to stand to fight for their right. In democracy, you have to stand up, and that is what you will demonstrate all the time on the street. But Nigerian doesn't want to stand up and fight for their right, and that is why these people continue to destroy this country. They continue to destroy that country every day, and they will never stop. They will never stop. All the politicians we see there, they will never stop. That is their game. That is what give them the best of the best dollar. That is what guarantee the better future for their family, their children and children to come. They won't stop. But it's unfortunate that Nigerians are not standing up. They still want to vote for them, and the more they vote for them, the more they mortgage their future. That is the way I see it. So.
All right. Thank you, Ajale Koko. Stay with us. It's just really I want us to, as you know, we always want to hear from our new voices. And Thomas has now been brave enough to join us, although he does. Oh, there you are. I thought you left. So Thomas now decided to join us. So thank you for joining us, Thomas. So now to the talking point. This now probably the most audacious headline that I've seen this year. Buhari, the most loved politician in Nigeria's history, more popular than Awolowo, Azikiwe, Aminu Kano, others. Femi Adesina saying this, but do you share those sentiments with him, Thomas?
Hello, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm speaking from Australia. We are morning now, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm
Right.
actually at work. One man, I'm following you back to back. Thank you for your integrity. Thank you for your intellectual. I respect you. I respect everyone on this platform. Thank you. Thank
You know,
you.
the
Thank
real
you.
magic is Ajanle Koko. I'm just the
Yes.
noisemaker, but the real magic is Ajanle Koko. But thank you for those
and the
words.
and the and the superstar of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then the not so super Femi Adesina, Buhari greater than Awo, than Zeke and Aminu Kano. I'm not sure about that. Are you? Do you agree?
If people are employed to speak, they have to speak, even though they know what they are speaking doesn't make sense. How will you, in this earth, in this planet Earth, how will you compare Zeke and Awolowo to Buhari? Can you point to one thing Buhari has done in 6 years of his administration? Nothing. It's calamity everywhere. This regime is the worst regime ever in the history of Nigeria. Even I prefer Abacha regime to this regime. Adesina is, if people are paid, you have to do what you are paid for. Even Buhari cannot even boast, beat his chest that he is greater than Awolowo Zeke. When Awolowo used cocoa money to build cocoa house, to build roads, the road from Ibadan to Ijebu was built by Baba Awolowo. It's still there today, shining. They haven't repaired the road since then. He's just talking rubbish. I think they have to go and check his mental state.
No, I think it must be smoking some of Ovie's something. That's almost, I mean,
Yes,
it's just
yes,
fully, I'm almost starting to agree somewhat with Ovie that they just make these ludicrous statements just to distract people because, of course, he knows that, he's going to cause an annoyance to people when he's comparing Malam Buhari with Awo, but then he does it anyway. Uh, but
it's just Malam Buhari to those people, it's just like oil and water. They cannot be compared in any ramification. It's very annoying, my brother.
all right. Thank you for that. But now, let me take you to one more space, and then I'll go back to Ajanle Koko. It's just I'm always keen to hear the politics of somebody that's just introducing themselves to the space. But let me take you then to the pulpit and to Pastor Bakari, who for
One man,
months,
you can continue with him.
oh,
Let's hear him further. Yeah, continue
all
with him.
right. Okay then. So let me then take you. Did you see that little clip that I played of Pastor Bakari bouncing
Yes,
up
I
and
saw it.
down, threatening fire and brimstone, and saying that he will be the ending of Buhari? This was in July. We saw him doing cartwheels, doing somersaults, like he was an acrobat or something. So fast forward just barely a few months later, here we see the guy on his knees bowing to Buhari, rankadede, rankadede. So how do you move from just two ends of a divide so swiftly within the space of just a couple of months? So Pastor Bakari in Aso Rock, kowtowing to Buhari, what do you think is in play there, Thomas?
My brother, it's just for changing of hands, for changing of dollar. Pastor Adeba, the same Bakari, is the one that sold Buhari to Nigeria in the first place. Pastor Bakari and Adeboye's and like of them. These are the same people that sold Buhari to us from onset with Oshibage. People vote Buhari because of Pastor Adeboye and Oshibage, thinking Buhari is going to change Nigeria for good. What is the narrative now? The man just came out so that Buhari can call him, so that they can settle with dollar. All these men of God, they are the same bed of feather that flocks together. Pastor Priest Obaka and the like, Pastor Adeboye, Pastor Adebakari, they are the same people. Can you imagine if Pastor Adeboye can speak to this president? You know how things will change for better for Nigeria. But they know how to go at the back door to collect dollars, to collect money from the same presidency. It's very sad, my brother, for him to change Nigeria for Nigeria. When he came out the other time, I was so happy that this man came out to speak to Buhari. Then, just quite some months later, going back to the same Buhari, as FFK can go back to his own vomit and bow to the same Buhari because of money, because of dollar. My brother, it's very sad. Expect more of pastors. They will bow to money. They will bow to the same Bible said. It said, truth exalt nation. But our pastors, they don't want to speak truth to our politicians. They like to sell us to them. Just wait.
Are you a
2023.
preacher man yourself? Are you a preacher man yourself that you are quoting the Bible?
No, I'm a Christian, but
All right.
I'm yes, but I don't I
Because
hate injustice.
we are looking for pastors, preachers to reinvest in, so that we too can collect 10% of people's salaries. So,
My sister, my brother, nah, that one can happen. I'm speaking from Australia. I
all
don't
right,
give my money to pastors. Nah,
all right.
it can't happen.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. Thomas, let me take you to this space now. This is something that we've discussed lately, and I think Janle Koko is especially passionate about this space. New revenue formula, not enough funds to run KEBBI State. This is Governor Bagadu, Bagudu speaking, and he is lamenting that the sum total of his budget is around $200 million. And that, of course, to cater for 5 million people and a vast swathe of land. So that is what is getting from the national coffers. But then, as far as I understand, and I'm happy to be corrected, the states are allowed and encouraged to generate revenue internally, and the bulk of that revenue, if not all of it, they get to keep for themselves. So rather than lament about not getting enough from the federal coffers, what then is stopping this character from generating his own money? So lamentation from the north as usual, not getting enough of the Niger Delta or money. What do you say back to the KEBBI state governor?
The man has to go and find another job. If he can't if you can't serve people, he should resign. He should resign. Same this revenue which has been collecting from the south, from the east, they collect the same tax and pay these north people. The same north people that are destroying beer, that they can't even add anything to the economy of Nigeria. Same people destroying beer, and they can't even generate revenue from themselves. And there are so many natural resources over there: palm kernel, soya, so many things that these people can do from their home country, but they have to run back to the federal government for national case. No government wants to work. No governor wants to work again. They just want to start from the national case. So they will blame all their problems on federal government. If he can't serve people, he should go and resign. That is my advice for him. He should tender his resignation letter to the state.
A lot of people say that this northern space, they are too comfortable and relaxed and reliant on just that Niger Delta oil money. And a lot of it has to do with the revenue sharing formula because, of course, they take all of the money from the Niger Delta to the federal space and then they share it amongst themselves. So should that revenue formula be recalibrated, let the Niger Delta keep their money and let everybody else go fend for themselves, including Yoruba land, including the Igbos, and including the Northerners. Let the Niger Delta keep their money and everybody else go fend for themselves.
That is why we are still going to go back to the region. This federalism is nonsense. Everybody, we should go back to regional. Why we have been created from the onset, so that everybody can cater for their region. If they not know that they are going to cater for their region, they will try to make their own money, make their own revenue, because they know they are lazy. They are just sitting down, folding their hands. They know at the end of the month, they will share the same money that the southerner is the most people that are putting revenue in the purse of the same federal government, but they are comfortable in their comfortable zone. But because they know if they don't work, if they don't produce any revenue, at the end of the month, the federal government will give them their own culture. Even sometimes they collect more than people that even generate the revenue. In this number that they normally transform from themselves, that the northerners are plenty, they are more than the southerners, which is very wrong. The last population, they will say you can't go into the house room and count them. They will be counting legs. I can't even say the northerners are more than the southerners, which is not true. When last have you asked censor in that country? We are just blabbing about the northern number. We don't even know how many people in Lagos as I'm speaking now. So we have to go back to regional, where we start this same Nigeria, so that everybody can make their home money and spend their home money. Because not know that if you go back to regional, they are going to suffer for this thing, because there's nothing they are producing.
All right.
My contribution, my brother.
All right, thank you, Thomas. And finally, Femi Adesina describes that Jubril at Sudan narrative as idiocy. So essentially, of course, pointing to the person who said it. What do you make of that? Jubril at Sudani, just a total idiocy and a waste of 2 years. Your thoughts, Thomas?
Can you rephrase that question?
No, Femi Adesina describes the Jubril from Sudan narrative that was being championed in the IPOB media space for over 2 years, that Buhari is dead and is being replaced by Jubril. Femi Adesina describes that narrative as idiocy. So do you agree with that?
The narrative of what they call it, my brother Kali,
Nandi.
NNAMDI Kali.
Holy, yes.
Is foolishness. Then do you know, my brother? There are some people as of today who still believe that narrative.
They will die there, you know. They just die hard. Even Nandi Kano has moved on from there, but they will never leave that space. That is
My brother, Buhari is not my fan in any way, but that narrative is total trash. Is a lie from the pit of hell. Buhari, at least we know Buhari when he was a military man. We know him, but why our people are falling for all this? It's, it's very pathetic, my brother. It's very pathetic. And even I am with Ovie that Buhari don't need to come out to debunk all these foolish narratives because it's a lie from the pit of hell. I love him as he just ignore the narrative. It doesn't make sense in any way.
All right.
In some way, I still like the narrative of Nnamdi Kanu, one of some of the
All right, Thomas, we're losing you. We're losing you slightly, but
right. I don't know where he got it from.
Can you hear me, Thomas?
Giving him that
Thomas?
bad narrative. I don't know. I don't even know what.
All right. Can you hear me, Thomas? Can you hear me? Okay, I think Thomas may not be able to hear me anymore, but a real delight to hear from you, Thomas. So a new...
It's very crazy.
all right, thank you, Thomas. A new voice in this... all right, thank you, Thomas. A new voice in the space, Thomas. He's tuning in from Australia, which is quite a distance away. So that's the one thing. And then he's at work as well. So that's the other thing. So a lot of people were saying that his voice was too low, so he can't be in the office. And no, we can. Can you hear me? No, I don't think you can hear me. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? No, I don't think Thomas can hear me anymore. But as I was saying, he's in Australia, which is quite a distance away, and then he's at work as well, which is quite a restricted environment. So people saying that his voice is low, he can't be at work and be shouting, can he? So there you are. But good to hear from you anyway, Thomas. So back to you, Ajan Lekoko. A real delight to hear from Thomas. But to that space then where Thomas just left, Ajan Lekoko. Femi Adesina says it is idiocy to claim Buhari was replaced with Jubril of Sudan. So that space now, fully that I especially have been critical of that space, describing it as a waste of time. So Femi Adesina concurs that it was just a total nonsense. But what are you making now of Femi Adesina coming to speak to that space, Ajande Koko?
You see, the action of government matters on any issue that is confronting the nation, and their inaction can cause a nation it can cause a nation badly as well. So what I'm trying to say here is that when NNAMDI Kano came out with that Jubril issue against Buhari, the government hold us a responsibility as people, as citizens, to let us know that it was false. That's the responsibility of government. Buhari was not healthy as at then. Buhari was taken out of the country. They were hiding the state of his health, his illness, what is responsible for that. They were hiding it. They were not transparent. You see, when government is not transparent, when government does not, tell the citizen what is going, when they don't tell the citizen the true situation of things, then they will give room for propaganda. So it was the government that gave room for this propaganda. And you cannot expect NNAMDI Kano, who is at war with this government, to start saying good things about this government. They have propaganda warfare is part of, the way, to fight war. And they rattle that administration with this because a lot of people across the country believe that propaganda by Kanu that it's not actually Buhari, because how can the president went for 6 months, 6 good months. His state of health was very, very bad. And we saw what happened during the time of Yaradua. The same thing happened during the time of Yaradua. They were lying. Even at the point that Yaradua died, they didn't tell the nation immediately. It took them weeks. They were trying to maneuver, see how they won't allow Jonathan to assume the position of the president of the country. So all these things is when government hide too much from the citizens, yes, they will give room for propaganda. So that propaganda works well, it travel well, it travel all over the world. So when they saw that, as a responsible government, when the president came back, the president supposed to show to the nation that I am your president, you voted for me, I am still your president, and I will continue to be your president. I will continue to be here for you. What I promise you, I will fulfill it. I will work hard for you. You see, that is why you see this is democracy. In democracy, the president must speak to address every problem that is confronting the nation. But when you have a president that is just sitting down there that doesn't speak, it means it's not fit for the purpose that they look at in America or Britain. On every issue, you see the president taking up on the rostrum and speak to the nation. That is how you carry your people along. You have to show to your people that you are in place, that you are in charge, that yes, you are there for them all the time. So people can say, oh, it doesn't, like Ovie was saying the other, that is not the way to run government. This is an organization that you are at war with. This is an organization you are at war with, and they carrying out effective propaganda against you, and you don't debunk it, you don't do anything to counter it. So it's a very irresponsible action. So Adesina saying that it was a democracy, they are the one that acted in an idiotic manner for not coming out to tell the nation the truth. So that's my take on that.
Ajale Koko, can I interject?
Yeah, carry on, Thomas.
Yes. My brother, you said this is a propaganda. Everybody knows that what they are saying is not true. So, do the presidency need to come out to say anything about what we are saying? This is a black and white lie. Everybody knows that what NNAMDI Kano has been saying for this while, it's a lie from the pit of hell. So I don't think anybody needs to debunk what they have been, NNAMDI Kano have been saying, because even many Igbos know that what NNAMDI Kano is saying is a fact. So I don't see any
Hold
issue
on,
with what
hold
this,
on,
my brother.
hold on, Thomas. You see, yeah, you can take it like that. That it was a lie. A lot of people were worried about it because they didn't hear from the president. They didn't see the president. We were not seeing him on the TV. He doesn't speak. A lot of people were worried. The president we voted for supposed to let us know that I'm still here for you. Obasanjo in his video said people are high top were asking him that, Baba, is it still Buhari that is there? People were worried. Even though some people you can still have it that you can still question it, could it be true? But it gives a lot of people some concern because this president doesn't speak, he doesn't talk. We don't see him. He disappeared. So,
But my brother, are you concerned? Are you concerned
huh?
about the propaganda?
You say, am I concerned?
I said, are you concerned about the propaganda?
Well, I was worried too. That could it be Nigeria? Is it still there as a person? I haven't seen what happened during the Yaradua time. So look, we voted them in. You have to respond to every issue. Everything you have to respond to it as a government. You owe us responsibility to respond on a issue that is confronting the administration and confronting the nation. Yeah, I mean, people. Do you want to say a lot of people? Some people, a lot of people believe. Some people believe in it. They hold those people responsibility.
I understand this. Some people even they still believe till now. But many Nigerians know that this is just mere propaganda.
We
That is
cannot
what I want
really,
you to understand.
we cannot, yes, it was a propaganda, but was an effective propaganda. Look, when a propaganda is carried out against an authority, that authority has a responsibility to respond that, oh, this is just a propaganda. Respond, it is your response that we counter it, that it was a lie, it was just a propaganda to cause disaffection and cause confusion within the country. But when you don't respond, you give room to spread of this thing. And the more it goes, the danger for the country. You know?
Mom man, please, I have a question with you. I want you to answer one question. Ajale Koko, please. What do you see about all the broadcasting Buhari is doing? If they can't do live, if they are edited and programmed live broadcasting. Did you notice that? I noticed it. I don't know. Maybe you guys
Yes.
noticed that as well. Even the
No,
one on October 4th, it was edited and recorded, still recording. Do you think this president is in a good state of mind to answer
no,
questions one
no,
on
he
one?
is not. No. The answer is quite simple for me. I don't know what Ajan Lekoko's answer is, but the answer for me is quite simple. Buhari, as we all know, is a man in his 80s. He has gone through a heavy ailment, which you don't fully recover from that even when you're young, especially when you're in your 80s. So Buhari, he is a man that floats between moments of lucidity and moments of being away, with the ferry. Somebody, so it's not a balanced man. So they cannot afford to have him go live on TV so that he then starts to talk rubbish or he falls over and he starts to look confused and walks away. You know how it gets with people of a certain age. So he's at that age. So they have to, all those speeches that we see, he doesn't even if he does a 5-minute speech that he reads out, he doesn't do it in one stretch. He will do it, they manage him medically for him to be able to do those things. So you remember during the both the 2014 and the 2019 elections that he refused flatly to debate his opponents on a live program because he
Yes,
couldn't
on live
stand on
program,
his
like
feet.
debate, yes.
Yes, he couldn't stand on his feet for that long, and he cannot be coherent for the length that of the session. So yeah, no, he's not a balanced man. That's just it. That's just my thought. Ajanle Koko, I'm not sure what you think of what Thomas is saying.
Yeah, that question buttress my point that the president or the presidency holds responsibility to speak to us when Kanu was carrying out propaganda against them. You see, they try to cover a lot of things up about Buhari on his health, and that was not good. You don't run a democracy like that. Under democracy, everything that is happening to the president, we must know as the people that voted him in power. So it's not healthy, and they are hiding a lot of things. So what you observe is part of unusual way of running that country, which is very disheartening. You can't occupy position of presidency or be at the top leading the nation, and we cannot specifically you can't give us that confidence.
Engage you one-on-one.
Eh?
I said we can't engage him one-on-one. Like
we can't engage him one-on-one. What kind of leadership do we have? Look, so Nnamdi Kanu was doing that for a purpose, just to rattle them, and he achieved it. So they acted so idiotically for not coming out quick to debunk it. And the president, when he came back from his sick bed, he didn't take an action. You just need to demonstrate. Maybe you can just invite some Igbo leader to the presidency and start showing them, how are you, Mr. Keremadu? How are you, Mr. Distin? That alone will tell the world that, this is the president that said this, Abdul Mumini. How does he know that this is Keremadu, this is this, and this is that? Just fire, just counter them. You see?
All right. All right. Thank you, Ajele Koko. And thank you, gentlemen. As you know, gentlemen, I always try to cap the afternoon sessions to 2 hours. We've gone slightly past that. So with your permission, I would like to cap it now. But before I cap it, Ajele Koko, everybody gets a beating on this platform. And it looks as though even you, Ajele Koko, the bitey Ajele Koko, it looks as though you two, you are getting a beating. So this is Abdul Momoni, who likes to beat everybody. He says, Ajale Koko is a good analyst, but behaves like a village man at times. How can a sensible human being believe it is Jubril Sudan governing over a civilized nation like ours? Etc. etc. So Ajale Koko, you get your flogging too finally. So now, welcome to every. Although I say you've been exempted. Plenty Water used to come and give you a beating, but then he got bored and left.
Those guys are the strength of this platform. Yes. So it's good for them to say their mind too, as we are saying our mind on the platform. So it's good.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, Thomas. Good to meet you. So I'll cap it there. Leave it here. Carry conversation on within comment section, but here I say peace.
Thank you.
All right.